for some Borderlands 3.5. What up, viewers? What up? What up? Calc Soups here, and today is Friday, March 25th, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. Like I talked about in the cold open, Wonderlands, Tiny Tina Wonderlands is out today. The Assault on Dragon Keep has got its own, from Borderlands 2 DLC has gotten its own spin-off, and is now a fully fledged game. So we will be able to live out our fantasy adventures within Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. And I also call it Borderlands 3.5 lovingly, because 3.5 is a very familiar D&D edition, as well as, maybe this doesn't feel like a fully fledged Borderlands 4 or anything like that. The game is at an 80 Metacritic, so if you're a fan of the series, you'll probably like it, but I don't think this is going to really entice people in who weren't already going to pick it up. I've already got a 4-stack of friends playing with it, and I will be playing it later today on my stream, but I am looking forward to playing it. I love all of the Borderlands series. I will admit that I don't remember too much of playing Assault on Dragon Keep, but I'm definitely looking forward to shooting some bad guys and getting some guns with my friends. So feel free to check that out later on my stream. This week is jam-packed full of games dropping. In fact, 3 titles are dropping today in and of itself. So let's move right along to Ghostwire Tokyo, the PlayStation exclusive game coming from Bethesda back before the Microsoft and Bethesda buyout. They had announced Ghostwire Tokyo, and that finally launched after, I think, a couple delays. It's currently at a 75 Metacritic, so I think that a lot of this comes from a little bit of a fractured identity. Not a lot of people knew what it was going into the game, and from what I've seen of gameplay, it feels a little bit familiar. It's like an open world game. The exploration of Tokyo and the ghost fighting, I think, is done really well from what I have seen, but it is getting a little bit of a mixed review. So I'll be waiting to play it. I'm a huge Bethesda fan, and so I want to see them do stuff that's new and unique, but I think I'm gonna have to wait on this one because tons of games are coming out, especially I'm still backlogged from late January and into February, and I think this one's gonna go on the back burner for me, but hopefully I will pick it up somewhere down the line. Also launching today, because Nintendo does not give a fuck, is Kirby and the Forgotten Kingdom, or as I'm lovingly calling it, Super Kirby Odyssey. It is definitely going for a little bit of a kind of open world. It even has a little bit of the same mechanics of, like, rather than throwing Cappy as Mario and becoming a creature, Kirby just eats the whole creature and then becomes it. So you can now do that with cars and vending machines and stuff like that. So I know that my wife is really excited for it. The game is at an 84 Metacritic, so if you're just going by Metacritic, you should probably be playing this game, but I know a lot of people don't make their decisions like that. Yeah, another Nintendo kind of open world fun game to play as you kind of explore different worlds with Kirby. I think Kirby has kind of been owed a open world 3D game for quite some time, so I'm finally glad to see that that's coming out. But there's a lot of games to play, so let me know which of the games that you picked up this weekend to play. If that wasn't enough, Returnal also has its co-op and endless mode Ascension update coming out today. So if you don't have the money lying around to buy any of these new games that are coming out, feel free to return to Returnal, no pun intended, and you'll be able to play that with your friends and in an endless mode. So you've got a really cool build. You can continue to play through the game with that build. Yeah, I'm really excited for the co-op gameplay. I didn't get too far into Returnal. Not that it was too hard. I think it kind of fell off my radar. But now that I can play through it with friends, I think it'll hopefully it'll stay on my radar a little bit longer, and I'll be able to play that with a couple friends or my wife whenever we pick that game up. So I'm excited. I liked Returnal. I just again kind of let it fall by the wayside. So. Hopefully I can pick it now up and play it with a friend, and that'll engage me to get through the game. So I'm pretty excited to uncover what the game actually has to unlock. The Witcher 4 is announced by CD Projekt Red this week. I woke up on, I think, Tuesday and saw, Witcher 4 announced, woo! Pretty exciting stuff. From what I remember, there won't be any Geralt in the future. So Geralt's adventures were supposed to be 1, 2, and 3, The Wild Hunt. So there won't be any Geralt to look forward to. Even the medallion is that of a lynx, so it's of a cat, not a wolf. So again, more signs that Geralt will not be involved. Although some people have started to already speculate that Ciri might still be involved, which would be pretty fun. If Cyberpunk is any indication, we probably won't see this till 2030, which was what I jokingly said on Tuesday morning. But hopefully we do get a game, sometime this decade. But I definitely could see them taking their time with this one, and especially since they are potentially deviating away from all the book content, as well as writing out one of the main characters and endearing characters that we know and love. So yeah, I don't think Geralt will be involved at all, or if he is, he will be like an NPC that you interact with and not the main playable character. So it'll be interesting to kind of see what they do with that world now that they're kind of going off script, and I'm excited to see what they do with that. Moving right along, Microsoft, now that they're bringing Activision Blizzard under their wing, will not be doing any union squashing while they are transitioning Activision Blizzard. So what that means is the Raven devs that recently announced the Game Workers Union Microsoft was fully appreciative of them and will not get in the way of any of the negotiations that they're having with Activision Blizzard. So pretty exciting stuff. The union, one of the first Western dev unions, is gonna stay formed. So pretty exciting stuff to see a big company like Microsoft not getting in the way of this kind of union that was formed somewhat around the time when they were purchasing Activision Blizzard, or at least announcing the deal. So yeah, pretty exciting stuff. Microsoft definitely probably has the power to do something about it, but really glad they're taking the high road and not getting in the way. So pretty exciting stuff there, and hopefully this will again continue to spread game unions throughout all of the major publishers. I didn't know that the switch in Nintendo Switch meant that they were going to switch up the UI. This week there was a pretty big Nintendo Switch update, UI update that allows you to organize your games into folders. So you can have your game folder with all of your Nintendo first-party games in it, and then your much smaller folder of all of your third-party games that you play on your Switch. Actually, mine would probably be reverse. I play a lot more third-party games on Switch, especially with a lot of indie games or things I can pick up on the eShop for $5 than I do with some of the big flagpole titles, although Kirby is probably going to be on my Switch at some point this week or weekend, so looking forward to picking that up. But yeah, pretty cool way to, you can organize it. I've found that the scrolling through the endless kind of side scroll would get a little bit tedious. So pretty excited that I can kind of put like indie, smaller time commitment games kind of in one area, so I can just click in and play a run of Darkest Dungeon or Slay the Spire on my Switch. And then if I have time and I'm sitting down to play the Switch, I might load up Kirby or Zelda or something else. So looking forward to kind of organizing that and taking my time with it, or eventually going back to my Animal Crossing island, which would probably be a very scary and unique experience. So maybe I'm too afraid to do that. But yeah, let me know how you've organized your Switch into your folders and subfolders. Turns out that Microsoft isn't turning down any brand partnerships. There's a new line of boots coming from the Wolverine company, which I haven't heard of before. But there's a Master Chief branded boot coming out. I think some of this has to do with the launch of the TV show, which I watched the first episode of last night and really enjoyed. It's a pretty fun action show with a little bit of intrigue, going down a little bit deeper and exploring the characters a little bit more. But yeah, these boots are $225. So if you got a little bit of scratch lying around, burning a hole in your pocket, you could potentially get some of these limited edition Master Chief boots. I actually think they look pretty cool, but I'm not in need of any kind of boots or any boots with my particular lifestyle. And yeah, I think you're gonna have to be pretty lucky. I'm pretty sure limited edition means there's going to be a very limited number of them, so you'll probably lose it to some bots or something like that, unfortunately. But yeah, if you have managed to get your hands on some, let me know what you think of the Master Chief boots down below in the comments. Also, in the Xbox realm of things, there is two Xbox controllers that I think you can also win in some kind of giveaway. To promote the Sonic 2 release in movie theaters and up and coming, there's two furry controllers. Like the controllers will actually have like kind of fur on them and whatnot. So pretty interesting. I'm not sure what to do with that, but if you are looking for a new Xbox controller or potentially win this giveaway or excited for Sonic 2, you can potentially get your hands on furry. The buttons, I have a lot more questions than I'll probably get answers to, but I don't know how the hair doesn't get caught in buttons, and if you get sweat. I don't want to ask, but if you're interested in some fuzzy controllers, be sure to check those out down in the links below. Last but not least, we seem to have had a lot of showcases running through the first quarter of the year, or at least the last couple of weeks. The Future Game Show, which was announced a couple weeks ago, did a spring showcase announcing a lot of really cool indie games that I was looking forward to. A couple of the ones that kind of popped up into my mind and into my feed were Crime Site, which was a social deduction game. I didn't quite see the multiplayer aspect, so I'm really hoping that this could be a fun multiplayer game, kind of Among Us style potentially, or werewolf or mafia kind of game that could be pretty fun to play with some friends. There was Midnight Ghost Hunt, which pretty much just looked like a multiplayer Ghostbusters game where you're actually like, I don't know if one person's controlling or a couple of people are controlling the ghosts, and then a couple of people are controlling the Ghostbusters or Ghost Hunters, I guess in this case. But they all had like vacuum packs and they were like shooting plasma bolts at the ghosts. So definitely looked very Ghostbusters-y without the IP attached. Cool thing was that Dwarf Romantic, one of my favorite games from last year, is getting a full release. So if you got $5 in your pocket and you want some chill vibes, there's definitely some gameplay for there. I really liked kind of just setting down tiles. It was very much a really cool kind of relaxing game to play before you go to bed. I think it's on mobile too, so very relaxing. You could just be in bed swapping tiles around and placing tiles to just kind of rack up points, and it's pretty chill with the vibes in the game. Also finally got to see a bit of gameplay from Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song. It definitely looked like a kind of Telltale-like game. You're trying to solve a mystery, and you're playing one of 3 different characters. Actually, it looked like Detroit Become Human, or as I'm calling it, Detroit Become Vampire. It definitely looked like that way because you're playing 3 different characters. You're trying to solve a mystery. Someone's attacked the vampires, and you have to get to the bottom of it. And you have certain skills that you can build out to increase how you interact with NPCs or what you can find within the world. So really kind of, building into its own kind of gameplay and a really cool idea around you don't have to always be this kind of killer vampire running around beating people up. You can kind of use your abilities to kind of get a little bit into the intrigue and the politics of vampire. So I really like the space, and I wasn't really considering this game at all, even though I really liked the Vampire the Masquerade setting, but the fact that this one's kind of like a Telltale episodic, as well as kind of a murder mystery, Detroit Become Human kind of game that you're trying to get to the bottom of, I'm pretty excited for it. So there was a ton of games announced over their like hour-long showcase. So if there's anything that you think I forgot, feel free to leave a comment down below. But those are the ones that kind of popped up into my feed and caught my eye as I was kind of watching through it. So that's it for this week. If you thought I forgot anything, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will. And we can always talk more video game news down in the comments down below. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this content. If you do, follow, like, and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch so you can see more great content like this. I'll have links down below in the description. Thanks again. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye!